Pod in the City is a Sex in the City podcast and thus contains adult themes and explicit content. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to Pod in the City. I'm Amanda.
And I'm John.
We're two besties who bonded over Sex in the City in college.
And now, 20 years later, we're reliving it like it's our very first time. Season 2, oh my goodness, episode 13, Games People Play. Carrie meets a guy at her psychiatrist's office. I'm gonna skip. It says Charlotte joins a bridge club. Miranda plays voyeur. And then it says nothing about Samantha. Samantha, gets it on with a sports fan. This is the absolute word. Google, you failed us. You failed us.
Okay, remember how I said yesterday, because we were going to record yesterday, but then we luckily got to immediately scrap that idea. Remember how excited were you, by the way, when I was like, never mind, I rescheduled, so we don't have
Well,
to
I was kind of
tonight.
hoping somehow that would happen, but
your face, oh God, if I could have just captured your face, because we got out of the live and I'm like, no, we have to do Sex in the City. And you're like, but that means that now I have to watch and take notes. And I was like, yeah, I know you're fine, but that's what's going to happen. And then right as I was clicking, I was like, okay, so bye. And then you were just like, bye. And you looked devastated. And I know I felt it too. But then immediately the thing that I was supposed to do today got rescheduled. And I was like, no, it's fine. We'll just do both tomorrow. And you were like, oh my God, thank God. Did it just wash over you?
Taking the notes is the part that's just takes more time. If you guys couldn't tell, we rotate back and forth. So Amanda will lead our Patreon one week, and then I'll lead this one week, and then we'll flip, so
maybe no
this was my week to do Sex in the City
seamlessly. Yeah, I actually prefer to do Sex in the City. It's a little more structured.
I think people can tell, because I know that I definitely partially check out sometimes when the other person has written all the notes.
Yeah,
and I'm like,
I know.
Huh?
Or when the other person's just talking.
It's hard sometimes.
Well,
I'm sure you check out listening to me.
When?
I don't know.
Most times.
Sometimes. You'll be like, okay, great. Watch. You will.
You okay. Well,
you'll be
all that
great.
To say, as we were logging off, I said to you, no, this episode will be quick though, because it's only 23 minutes.
It is quick.
And none of the other ones are that. So I wonder, did they cut out the Charlotte Bridge storyline from syndication for some reason? But why? What? Does anyone out there remember a Charlotte playing bridge? Maybe
it was offensive.
But how could that have been offensive? What would the storyline have been?
You must have the DVDs, right?
I don't know. I might have gotten rid of all my DVDs in the move. No, I must not have. But I wouldn't even have anything to play those on.
Anybody who's got the DVDs, one of y'all, you got to have the DVDs. I think I have the DVDs somewhere, but I don't know.
Your mom might have them.
Guys, pull them out. Let us know, what is the deleted Charlotte Bridge storyline? Anyway.
Yeah. I wonder, are there people in this episode, maybe if we went to the IMDb, because I went to the IMDb, there's no extra people that I didn't recognize or anything, because I was trying to find out what the neighbor guy, and he's only done 4 things in his life, including this episode of Sex in the City.
The neighbor guy.
Miranda's boob turned him off of show business.
What I do want to do before we get too deep, I want to do some shilling. Please, if you're watching us on YouTube, hit subscribe. If you aren't subscribed already, please do. Also, hit the like while you're here, baby. Leave us a comment. Leave us a comment. It makes our day. Please be nice to us. I know I have an annoying voice, but if you also don't like us, that's okay. There's lots of other Sex in the City podcasts out there. We love you, but if you do like us, you know what, baby? If you do like us, check out our Patreon. It's patreon.com/pod Hot in the City. And this week, we did a real cute episode about Golden Girls, Blanche and the Young Man. And we also got really deep before that. Like, I spilled a lot of shit that,
Yeah,
good Lord.
you really did.
Somehow this
I don't
episode,
know
like,
what to say.
the tiniest little like moment in the episode of Golden Girls like
Set you
sparked a
off.
story, but I had to then speak. I had to.
But I
give
was
that
egging you on
context
though
for the
too. I was
story.
like, "How about that crazy thing with your dad?" Right? And it was just like, and then it just ballooned and ballooned, and then I kept asking more and more questions, which was triggering you even more. So, anyway, check out
Amanda loves to trigger me, so if you want to hear me get triggered by Amanda, check out patreon.com/pod in the city at $6 a month.
I told a little
or
story
10.
about my ex like stalking me and like
Oh, yeah.
for anyone
Oh,
who's
don't-
new and
don't-
hasn't been following
Don't say
me,
that on here though, because
he knows that he stalked me.
Oh god, but now he's gonna like
He's aware.
he's gonna like send up a hater account against
That
our
would be pretty pathetic if he
Patreon.
still followed me. What, 5 years later?
Girl,
Anyway,
you
let's get out the
never
Blanche.
know.
The Blanche voice is very fun to do, as is the Samantha voice, because I think the voice it
It's
kind
just
of
kinda,
lives.
like, the
It's in your
easiest to do.
chest. It's kind of
Yeah.
like it's satisfying.
They're also the most like exaggerated, I feel too, just naturally that it's like easy to go with it. Like there's
Yeah.
a thing you can pick up on.
Yeah, for sure. And now I'm glad we're not doing Designing Women anymore because they have similar accents to Blanche.
They do.
But you can't, but it's not Blanche, but it's like you just want to go full Blanche.
Yeah, theirs
how it
are more
feels
like
best.
natural, just women living in the South, and Blanche is
No.
like a woman transported from like the olden days,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
back in like whatever bad times. How about that?
Yeah.
All right, guys, if you're here, we love you so much. We usually start every episode off with a little bit of
News and gossip.
yeah, baby. As we
Do it.
know, Sex in the City, or not Sex in the City, and just like that was like filming, could still be filming, may have wrapped up filming.
Yeah, and also another fun thing, if you look up news, I think it's like slate.com or something on or Variety updates every 3 days. Here's what we know so far about the upcoming and just like that. So they'll update it every couple of days. So it always looks like there's a brand new article, but don't you be fooled, babies. You come to
So
us because I actually read those things every week.
So
to see if
nothing's
there's
really
actually-
happening.
No.
Well, a couple things that caught my eye was good old Cynthia. How I love a performing
Aw.
seal. Game recognizes game.
How I love a performing seal. Game recognizes game. All right, but
So if you're just listening,
context to this at all?
Cynthia Nixon is like doing an up close selfie pic with a seal, which is really cute. I think
it's a
seals
sea
though are
lion.
kind of. Well, she says it's a seal.
I don't know about that.
I think it's a seal because they're smaller, aren't they? Sea lions are bigger.
Hmm.
And I don't know, babes. So, but she does, her caption says, how I love a performing seal. Game recognizes game. Eye emoji. Like,
Yeah. We've now
Huh?
read it 3 times. We really can't make any. Okay, so fine. Next.
then Cynthia posted, let me get rid of the banner here for a second. Cynthia posted a
Cute.
picture of her and Kristen. It's not that cute. It looks,
It's
I'm
like
gonna
Cynthia
say,
Nixon has like a
unfortunately,
terminal illness.
I was
here.
gonna
This is literally
say,
Beaches.
unfortunately, it looks like a remake of Beaches, which maybe it is. And Kristen Davis looks like she's visiting her friend who's like at the
Who has a
beach while
month to
they're like
live.
on hospice. Like, what is going on with this photo? I get like,
It's like exactly what it looks
I get dressing down with your girlfriends, but like, what's going on here? Now, someone, I'm sorry to sound so offensive, but like, you were thinking it. You guys were thinking it, right?
Yes, first thing I thought when I saw this, when you threw this up. All right, next.
You know what I realized was there's one queen that we have not been checking in on because she is not a part of stupid, I mean, my favorite show ever, and just like that. And that is Queen Cattrall,
Oh, she
baby.
looks good.
She's killing it. She did post a reel. It is her
Getting
dancing
down
with
and dirty.
some random woman. And it seemed, I'm hoping this might not be just a random woman, but this is them. It seems like a resort of some sort, like an
This is giving me
all-inclusive.
the Lindsay Lohan dancing in Grease vibe.
And what was the song playing again? I'm not going to play it on here because obviously, if we even play 10 seconds of the shittiest song ever written by Ali Luber, we get fucking doxxed for, not doxxed, what's it called?
Demonetized.
Demonetized. I can't remember what the song is, but it's like, who let the dogs out or something like that.
Yeah, she's like,
Amanda was like, what is that song? And I was like, oh, I'm going to leave it as a surprise. She's dancing on a beach, and you know what? I'd love to be in her position right now because look at behind her. There's a freaking like a champagne like
tower
situation. Like, come on. Anyway,
champagne, I feel I can drink all day long, and I never get more than just a little buzzed.
You know,
I'd love to be if I could just drink. It makes me tired. I feel like it'd be okay.
Makes me tired.
It doesn't make me tired. Well, I kind of always used to be tired anyway because I was drunk all the time.
Do a day drink anymore, really, like or like a mimosas in the morning situation. I definitely will need a nap if that's the situation.
Yeah, I just think that the first drink of the day and the first like puff of the day, if you will, is just that's the best one of the day because you're still like awake. That's the most awake you're going to be that day.
And you know, so like addicts and like people in recovery and stuff would say like that is what the rest of your day is then chasing that feeling of that first.
Yeah, of course, but that first drink is it's a chef's kiss.
Well, guys, let's get into this episode. Right.
You're leading. Sweet. I don't know if I could lead an episode right now. I am on fumes right now.
In a town where everyone's dying to couple up, sometimes there's nothing better than being out of a relationship. You have time to do your laundry, freedom to play your bad music. Now, I have problems. I can't even get through this first monologue because they are classifying I Will Survive as bad music. Fuck you, show. You have lost your damn mind.
I didn't notice that song was playing for one, but
something is moving next to you. What's going on?
There's like a huge gust of wind just came in because it's cold. It's autumn.
My God, that's ghost. That's ghost shit going. Poltergeist shit is happening behind Amanda, y'all.
Meanwhile, I have like this doll back there.
That like part is like the least creepy part. It's that like,
the gust of wind.
Ooh, a curtain blowing in the wind. I can't.
Oh my God, you're fine. What was I saying? Oh, I agree with all this.
I Will Survive a bad song, though, Amanda.
No, okay. Well, I didn't notice that it was I Will Survive, but I do agree with the sentiment. Like, oh, okay, now I just get to like be gross again, like, by myself, like single life.
But okay, so yes, but the best part of being out of a relationship is plenty of time to catch up with your friends.
Dude, this sequence, I remember this. Like, this sequence is so funny.
It's so well done.
Good. And like so relatable. But I will say, I've been this girl. But when I was this girl, I was 22, 23.
Yeah.
Carrie is like in her 30s. So it's like probably not as cute. Speaking of cute, though, this sequence not only features really funny acting by all the women as Carrie's just monologuing about like how she's
really good acting, especially
really
Samantha.
Good. But all of her outfits in this whole episode are so good.
Agreed. There's one later that I really loved, and it's because it's more my gig. It's like very brightly colored.
Is it the like, Twister outfit when they're matching?
Yes.
Yeah,
and
that's
the purse
iconic.
That's like green with the flower print.
But then her hair, she
looks great.
This is the best she has looked, which also really tracks because some like after a breakup, after your depression period, you do kind of get like a glow up. But
because you haven't been eating. You're very much like. You've been crying a lot. You're very, you guys, if you haven't watched the episode, what happens here is I'm not even going to try and recount really. It's Carrie's giving this big monologue. She pities Big. You know what? She really pities him because blah, blah, blah. And it goes through her telling this story to Samantha and Charlotte and Miranda.
Yeah, it's just like all the stuff that we
Um,
all do because we don't think that we're talking about it that much until you really like think about it. And it's like, but it's like, I mean, I feel sorry for him. And I was really I was like this light, this beacon of light
you've
in his
also
life.
practiced this too at home alone. Like Carrie has practiced this whole monologue to
Yes.
herself in the mirror at home, or like chain smoking cigarettes around her apartment. And now she's
Yeah.
like, she's really synthesized this entire thing, and then
Yeah.
she's presenting basically the same thing, which I get it. I'm
But
I'm a broken record often about shit like that.
we've all done this, but at the end of it, it's just all of the girls, and she's like, and you know what? I feel sorry for. I pity him. I pity him. I really do. And then the
And they're
girls
like,
all go,
you're obsessed with talking about big, and frankly, we can't take it anymore. And
no. The
they're like,
funniest part is right after she finishes the thing, she goes, "I pity him," and then they are silent. And she just goes, and then Miranda goes, "All right, who's gonna tell her?" And then Carrie goes, "What?" And she like covers her nose. I always thought that was such a funny directorial choice,
oh,
or if she just did that, like what? Like she has something in her nose, a
oh.
booger.
Though, what's
Disease
wild
associated.
is that we have never known Carrie to be not self-absorbed. And so this is like Carrie 2.0, like her final form,
Yeah,
like the most annoying she can be. But I'm pretty sure she becomes more annoying later with
yeah.
the Russian.
Oh, the Russian. You taste the good
So,
black cherry.
they're like, sometimes it helps to talk to somebody who's objective. They're basically trying to tell her she needs to go to a therapist because they try and pat it out, being like, this is too much for us to handle. This is above our heads. We
Yeah,
all have
it's the
problems
blind. We're just
too.
as
And
fucked up as you are. It's the blind leading the
we're
blind.
trying our best. We can't do it.
Carrie goes, "Why should I pay someone when I can just talk to you for free and then go get a drink or something?"
This was obnoxious. She definitely was doubling down on how she was disgusted by the idea of therapy, and
Yeah, this was
how
right
they
in
were
that
just like,
moment before therapy was still kind of a
she's like, it's just so
not cool.
self-indulgent. And it's like, you know what? Actually, the truth is that therapy actually helps you be not self-indulgent. It keeps you from like wanting to like, off yourself.
I've
And
never been to a therapist in my life.
Oh, you would benefit from it, I'm sure.
I'm good. Well, I feel like I do
Are you
benefit
gonna
from
pull a
your
Carrie right now where you're like,
I benefit from your therapy sessions because you always give me whenever I'm having some like manic issue, you're like, well, if this was me, my therapist would tell me this, and then I'll take those tools though. And I actually really do think of them a lot. The
well, that's
advice that you
good.
give me. So it's free
I
therapy.
definitely am the person that Carrie hates and is dogging out shots fired here, being like, yeah, when you end up going to a therapist, you always are like, you start every conversation with, my shrink thinks that. And I'm like, oh, well.
No, you really don't do that. But now she's walking with Stanford and
This I really liked. She's like, so, you know what? I decided to seek my own professional help. And then you see that it's Stanford. And you find out that Stanford has had 3 different therapists for all different reasons. And we find out that Carrie has actually been referred to a Dr. Ellen Greenfield, who is this like hot, the therapist. Gwyneth
everyone knows
Paltrow goes
Dr.
to
G.
her.
Dr. G. She goes by Dr. G.
It's like, what's funny though is he's like, Gwyneth Paltrow sees her, and Carrie's like, why does she go to a shrink? And he's like, she suffers from high self-esteem.
Which is actually they didn't even know this back then because Gwyneth wasn't as annoying as she is now back then. But that was such a perfect way to describe Gwyneth's personality is she suffers from high self-esteem. That's exactly what the problem is with Gwyneth and everything about her. Now the therapist, Dr. G, I was gonna send this to you earlier and then I got distracted, but can you picture her in your head right now, the therapist?
Yes. It's like that. Yes. Because I was trying to figure out who I thought she was. But
I'm going to tell you right now who she looks like. A cross between, this is going to blow your fucking mind, so get ready.
Okay, I'm going to warn you, though. I'm going to preface here. Often when you say someone looks like someone, I don't think they look
You need
like
to trust. You need to trust you need to trust in the process. Ready? Ready? It's 2 people.
I'm closing my eyes. I'm doing it. Okay.
Sherry Renee Scott.
Okay.
And Steve Buscemi. She does, though. No, I swear to God, she does. I'm sorry, but I nailed it. Yes. Hello?
She does look like Sherry Renee Scott. Like, and I thought you were
And
gonna
Steve
like say
Buscemi.
someone softer, and then you go for Steve Buscemi.
No, she looks like Sherry Renee Scott. Like,
Okay.
you see
Okay.
it.
Like,
You
this is
see it.
probably one of your better comparisons.
Bite your tongue. I've never been wrong. I'm always right. I'm stealing Jody's
Anyway.
bit now. Like, it's not my fault if I'm just right and everyone else is wrong. That's
The
Jody's
problem
bit.
is, like, I can't be gaslit, so. But you can't gaslight a gaslighter. I don't gaslight.
I'd actually argue that you can.
Okay, so yes, Dr. G. This is also when we get our introduction. Miranda ends up seeing a sexy man in the
She's good in this.
window.
This whole like physical yeah. Boom, 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 boom.
It's interesting the way the situations they put her in, because it's like they try and make it like like her sexuality a joke more than the other ladies, I feel.
Yeah, but because she's not really, then this is how I am. She's not like a sexy, like she doesn't lead with sex. She's very like quirky, like I'm commenting on the sex as I'm being sexy.
Okay, yeah. And see, like, I feel like for myself, I'm a little like like I will fall in though. Like Miranda does not fall in. Even the part when she, spoiler alert, pops her titty out, it's very like
it's very
like
waka waka
medicinal.
like,
it's not
yeah.
like it's not like
but she's funny at least.
It's just not like I'm not like she's not like there's no sensuality or anything. It's just like
would this be like something that you're into? Like you have a neighbor across the air shaft?
Never.
And like I'm close my window. My windows are never wide open. Ever.
At nighttime, my stuff is closed because I don't like to look out at darkness.
Yeah, I know. It's
that
horrifying.
creeps me out because I'm thinking someone's out there looking at me. So I could never live in a place like that. I would have to have curtains or blinds at night for sure. I would not be just like chilling, like
also I like to live in pure darkness.
Oh, I love so during the daytime, I would love to have floor to ceiling windows. And in fact, I would be fine having floor to ceiling windows if they looked out at like a nature area.
That is way
and
too
I'd have
scary.
No blinds or anything. I would love that.
No. Well, that's good for you.
That's my dream. That's my dream.
Okay, that and meeting a guy in the supermarket.
Well, those two things could work in conjunction because right now what I'm really trying to think is I'm looking for a man in finance, that whole situation. He doesn't have to be in finance. What I'd really prefer is maybe he's a little bit older than me and has good insurance. Good work benefits that like I could benefit from too. So
you can move up to Canada.
If I'm moving anywhere, I'd move to California. And like, I have such an attachment problem that like, I could not live where my mom doesn't live.
Yeah.
Like, I want to live where my mom is.
You should. I would never move away from my mom now.
You lived away from your mom for a long time though.
20 years.
Yeah. But now that you're back, you're like,
I will never move away from my family. My whole family lives like within 2 hours of me now.
Exactly.
My dad lives 10 minutes down the street. I have not seen him since I saw something rotten with him. Never spoke to him.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, I know. Where are we here?
Any gays.
We're having a real dad night.
I'm working it in, baby. I'm getting it in. Getting in that any gays.
Okay, so we're done with Miranda and the hot neighbor. Anyway, that guy he's done 4 things and then quit acting apparently. But yeah, a week later now. Okay, so yes, Carrie's at Dr. G's office, who looks like Sherry Renee Scott, Steve Buscemi, and she's in a cute ass dress. I love this dress. It's like blue, kind of almost like prairie-esque, and it's spaghetti strap, but they tie on the shoulders.
That's a very slutty. Like it's cute, but it like would make me feel slutty. like
Really? I
having
don't
the
think it's that.
ties,
I
because
think
like it
it's
would feel like
cutesy.
someone could just untie it at any moment and your tits could fall out. That
Brad
would
would have
make
done
me
that.
feel kind of slutty. So I like that.
Remember I owned that maxi dress that was completely and there's like pictures of me with you in this dress, but it was just a black
Uh-huh.
long maxi, and we'd be at Target and Brad would pull it down at all the fucking time.
Well, like never in my life have I been mooned by someone more or like unintentionally like flashed. Like
Yeah.
no friend of mine has ever been that type, but I would
Yeah.
like
It
look
was
over and
funny.
Brad's ass would be out. And I'm like,
Yeah. He had a nice tight little ass. Probably
I
still
mean,
does.
I think he played baseball, right? So especially in college, it
No,
was
no,
high
he
and tight.
didn't.
I thought he did.
In like high school, in like grade
That's your
11.
formative years.
I guess that is true. He was sporty before he broke his leg. He broke a
Broke
leg.
his legs.
He broke his leg in high school playing football, and then it was a Glee situation. Then he had to join, or High School Musical. He had to join. He
Oh,
got cast as Harold Hill in The Music Man. The rest is history.
oh, that's
Mm.
cute.
Yeah.
All right. So, she goes to Dr. G. She's like, "What's the problem?" And Carrie's like, "My friends can't handle me anymore." And she's like, "You're like very expensive foster care." And she's like, "What's bothering them?" She's like, "They tell me that I talk about my ex-boyfriend too much, but that's normal right after a breakup." And then it basically boils down to her being like, "Carrie, you're the problem."
I would hate this therapist. I first of all
Um,
can't have a therapist who's not gonna laugh when I make a joke. Like when I say something quippy, if she's just gonna stare back at me.
okay, trust me, I've had multiple therapists over my years of time. They don't
Uh-huh.
really like bust down laughing when you make like they'll like
Not bust down, but
smile,
like
but
an
they like try to
acknowledgement.
not laugh, I think.
Okay, but an acknowledgement that I understand you were just making a joke there and you're not being dead serious. But she's like, she goes, "What are all the things they have in common? It's you. Maybe you're picking the wrong man."
Basically, and you know what? Maybe that's true for her.
Isn't that kind of true for everyone though? I think it works both ways. I feel
Um,
like in general, everyone's constantly picking the wrong man, and they're also finding you as well.
well, it is true. What this whole episode is about basically is playing games, y'all. People do want to play games. It's like almost easier than just falling into just having normalcy. It's
I
like people would rather run around and
But
break
I
people.
would rather play games because when it's too easy, it is such a turn off. It's gross.
That's unfortunate though, like because if you guys if you're really into someone and you're into each other, it should just be easy.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. But sometimes when they just give you way too much, it's really I feel like no. Sorry, let me rephrase that. At the beginning, I think there's little games you can play with each other that are kind of fun almost. That are not going to
Mhm.
like be detrimental later. Like
Okay.
waiting a little, like I don't want to text him too much, but I'm gonna wait. Like just little games like that. Like I'm gonna wait for him to text first and then I'll wait to text back.
See, I think we should
Those are
banish
fine.
that idea because technically, if you were in a relationship, you wouldn't want someone waiting to respond to your messages. So why now would they wait? Just get to it.
What do you think of that guy texting me at 5:30 in the morning the other day? Just a period.
Well, it was after he had already texted you, hey, that you left him on red. And then
A
late, like the
week
next,
earlier.
oh, that was a
No, a
week.
week had passed. So again, I thought this was
Wait, was
over,
it
which
because
it
he
is.
knew? Was he asking you if you're on your period? Maybe he wanted to make sure that you got your period and
No,
you weren't
I
ovulating and had his baby.
I don't know. Because he knew that I was on my period.
I think he just was like, "Hey, I actually thought like I had like an okay thing going with this girl, and then I tried to message her, and then she left me on red, and so
And
now
then I'm gonna
I'm gonna
send
send her a period because like I'm just sad."
I no, it wasn't okay. A period at 5:30 in the morning.
I think it's because he's
So annoying.
sad.
I don't think he's sad. I think he's fucking fine.
I think it was
Anyway, it
probably
was
because he
annoying.
was horny. Honestly, like
At
if you're
5:30
spent,
in the morning though?
yeah, he's a man.
Yeah, I guess he's got the morning wood maybe. So
Maybe
I'll
he
send
woke
this
up.
girl a period.
I'm gonna predict he spent all night awake staring at your photo. Guys, I've been watching too many horror movies. I'm like, he's staring at your photo like Amanda. And then eventually it's like 5:30. He's like,
Do you think it was an accidental, or do you think he was like, I'm gonna send her a period?
I think he just wanted
those...
what I think he was trying to imply is that it's over. Like, period, the end. Like, this is it.
Well, what an insane thing to do.
I'm just making that
would
up.
be crazy.
Just making
but okay, fine.
But I love the idea
it.
of it. I love the idea of that.
Or
like, that's how I want to end a relationship with someone, is just send them a period. And they're like, what the fuck is this?
Period was, he was adding the period to the earlier text that just said, hey, with no punctuation.
Well, that was what I was thinking was happening. But then I didn't closely read the dates enough. I thought they were like, one was one night and then the next was like the next morning. No. It's a week apart. That's interesting. Anyway. I thought maybe he texted you at like, sometime at night. You didn't respond.
And then he was kind of just
and then he was like,
Jody thinks it's like a Facebook poke.
It is. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But I do have a flair for the dramatic. So I am imagining just like sitting in a dark room thinking about you day and night. He's like, she doesn't respond. What do I say?
Anyway, I left that on too. I'm not engaging in this. Although I am kind of
Let's do it. Let's respond.
Hey, what's up? Okay, anyway.
Just be like, hi. And then
because I don't want, I'm done.
5 days later, right? Period.
What would be the point? What would be? Yeah, right. Or I just read a question mark. So dumb.
Or just be like, huh?
I question the period.
Be like,
can I click on the period and then do the question? I've done the who is this before.
No, that's awful.
We're done. I keep his number in my phone just so that I know it's him whenever these fucking pop up.
What ends up happening here is that basically Carrie's just making a bunch of excuses. Shocker. Carrie doesn't do a lot of like accountability or So then they have this chat about games, and the girls go to a sports bar because Samantha, I'm slipping into Blanche. How do you,
honey,
Samantha's getting a contact high from all the testosterone. Basically.
Oh yeah, she is.
At the place they get free beers, which I mean that's cool, but it's also kind of like, what are you gonna roofie me?
Well, that, but also like, I don't want a beer. I'd be like, can I get a
should be like free martini
screwdriver?
Yeah.
There's a sports bar,
but like, I guess if women are like really horny for dudes, they'd go to a sports bar.
But it seemed like they were kind of surprised by the client. Like, it seemed like they were surprised by how many men were in there and that it was.
But they I think it must have been Samantha then who knew what was up. And the other three were surprised.
Because she got right up and like she ditched him.
I wrote, it takes Samantha 0.5963 seconds to find a gray-haired dude who loves the Knicks. She literally sits down in the restaurant, gets the free beer, and is like, guys, I've got to be tap me in, or whatever, get me off the bench. And then she like goes and gets like, she fully says that. I'm getting off the bench, coach, or whatever the fuck it is. She goes up and immediately, like within moments, I'd be like, okay, bye.
She's funny though here too, though, because he's like
hilarious.
Like, because she doesn't even say anything, but he's just watching the game and getting like louder and louder, and she's just like,
She has really good physical comedy. Like his first yell, she's like caught off guard, but then she like has this turnaround that you can see where she's like starting to feel it. She's like, ooh, it's the test. Like she's like into like that. She thinks he's getting it. She thinks it's getting him hot. She thinks it is getting him hot, which I guess it kind of is.
Well, then they fuck.
Could you imagine being like tied to a man who's like super into sports like that?
Brad was really into sports, but other than that, I've never dated someone who likes sports.
But like on a way where it's like, this is my team. Well,
this is how Brad was.
That is true, yeah. Isn't it like the Orioles?
You at least got to like leave sometimes. weren't stuck.
I actually got like basically the best relationship.
Yeah, I know.
They're Sopranos for hours on end.
Well, I love Sopranos, but yeah, like Yes, you got to at least take yourself out of like situation.
I
You got to
know,
break.
being the third wheel sometimes is fun.
Yeah, you can decide to like not be fully immersed.
You don't usually
But
get like
not
the
that I don't
brunt
love
of
riding
their
it.
anger and all that either. You're like
Yeah, like
the fun piece.
exactly. You get to be like the buffer, which I guess
Exactly.
isn't really that funny there. But anyway,
That's
Carrie.
horrible. Wow, we should cut that. Anyway,
No,
she seems to love
no.
his passion. Then she rides him. Basically. Do you have to play games to make a relationship work? And that's the whole question here. And then we get our New Yorkers scene, which fine. I
didn't write those
don't
down.
really care. These are that much. Carrie is at her second session with Dr. G, and she sees Bon Jovi. Guys, Bon Jovi pops in.
This outfit is
does.
iconic to me too because she's wearing jeans and it's kind of these squares of different denim all sewn together, and then just a shirt, just kind of a blue shirt. But I just find I've always found it so impressive that she's seated and the angle at which she's being filmed, like only someone with her perfect body could like pull this off, because like the camera's aimed directly at her stomach and she's just sitting like this and she still looks so good.
Well, they clearly put her in this outfit so that they can do the bit for the next one where she gets all dolled up for
and
Bon
she looks
Jovi.
so stunning.
His acting is questionable.
We find out that Bon Jovi ever that big a deal that this would have been like a get?
I think he was. Like, there was a time when he was really famous here.
Well,
he still is.
know, but what a random thing.
Well, I think it was a big deal back then. Remember, like, Harry Connick Jr. was on Will and Grace. Like, you know, it was
I'll
that
never
kind
forget.
Of thing.
That's how that is who Harry Connick Jr. is to me.
That is when I thought Will and Grace was kind of started to personally. Yeah. The reboot, even worse.
I just got so excited thinking that I don't have to record for the next 2 entire days. It was like
guys, Amanda
energy just flowed. What?
Amanda's life is hard.
At least I didn't have that date in between the thing today, so fine.
Are you rescheduling or did you do it? Like, are you?
No, but you have to listen to me and Jody's episode to find out why.
Oh, great. It's all interconnected, right?
Even
anyway, Bon Jovi's playing Seth Robinson, a photographer. He ends up asking Carrie to dinner sometime, and it's like, yeah, he's hot, but he's just kind of like,
he's a short king for sure.
He's like, hey, what's up? Nice to meet you.
It's also like the way he immediately talks to her is pretty condescending, because he's like, I mean, I guess we could keep playing this game where I could just be one of us could be an adult and introduce ourselves to each other. I'd be like, ew, I wasn't macking on you.
Oh, but Carrie obviously was.
I know, but it was a little, but still, that's how easily turned off I am. That's how instantly icked I will get.
Let me tell you, if I was at a therapist's office and a man was like, well, I would also be scared, because I'm like, why are you at a therapist's office?
That would
like
I would think that he's probably more healthy than most of the guys I'll end up with.
True. You know what? That's true.
They've addressed.
I mean, I go to therapists, but anyway.
I can't wait to get to that David Duchovny episode and see how well that aged. I feel like it did not age well.
Maybe they'll cut his entire part.
What is this Charlotte Bridge storyline?
They're okay, so they go to lunch and it's like, what if he's crazy? Geez, what if he's crazy? It's the crazy ones that have the good pills, is what Samantha says.
There you go.
And then Samantha's cheering on the football, the basketball. Oh, geez, now I have the hiccups. Excuse me. Oh, she's like, that's it. Go, Marcus, go.
That was a
I have the hiccups.
Go, Marcus, point impression.
Go. And then
it was actually more like a human, like go, Marcus, go. Well, she's getting all revved up. Yeah, the opening
I'm not a human.
Damn Yankees. Yeah.
Then that's it. Go, Marcus, go. Excuse me, but why is that on? And who is Marcus? I guess it's Marcus Camby, the Knicks forward. Blah, blah, blah. This whole thing. She says that Dawn's obsessed and she doesn't get fucked if the Knicks don't win. And she's like, the Knicks are the only ones getting screwed right now. And Samantha does really good acting here. She's very like really into it and selling it. And I
Yeah,
love her.
Carrie says, "Why do you even put up with it then?" And Samantha goes, "Well, the sex, from what I remember of it, was mind blowing."
I refuse to believe that sexpot Samantha can't just go get dick down every night, that
Yeah, that
she
was the
needs to
first
be
guy she
so
talked
concerned
to.
about this
Yeah,
man
right,
who fucked her
exactly.
once and then now she has to wait weeks. So anyway, the Knicks win, and guess what? Her pussy starts flowing instantly. She's out the door, y'all. She's running. She's running to get that dick.
Carrie's like, go have sex.
Miranda has like a weird strip show with her neighbor. This is
She's
where it like
wearing
builds
the
up.
least sexy outfit. She's matching her hair, so she looks like
Like
she's
a
actually
bright
on
red
fire.
pajamas set.
With like these Chinese buttons all the way down.
Uh-huh.
Like,
And she's
interesting
like,
choice.
he is hot, but I thought from the beginning he was giving gay vibes, and maybe I'm being
for sure.
stereotypy. But she's like, he's in a towel. He pulls his towel off and shows off his butt, which that also is kind of a clue. Like, is a dude showing his
That
butt
is
to get you
true.
horny? And then she does the super sexy, like, here's my one boob. You can't even really tell. Like, all you really see is
good though.
it did, but because it was just pulled out like that, you couldn't really tell. It just looked
It does
like a
seem
nipple.
medical. It looks it looks like they're doing surgery on it.
Exactly. It just like it was like and it was not hot, and then leave it at that for that moment. Then we find out that it says Seth and I were having a great first date at the coffee shop. And they have this whole thing talking about how at the therapist, the plant is constantly moving. They think that
it's okay chemistry. I mean, like, John, but
I think their chemistry is good.
Yeah, but it also just might be that Sarah Jessica Parker, I think, is such a good actress that she could really bring it out in people.
I think in a way this was probably a good casting because it was the opposite of the Big vibe, which is very like uptight and like pointed, and this is just more like
Living on a Prayer.
Yes.
Bon Jovi. Okay.
I was trying to think today what songs they sang, and I couldn't think of one, but now that you just said
it's Living on a Prayer. But like his voice kind of is similar, at least, to like Styx, Journey, which I love all of those. I love glam rock. So
he has a great voice.
Amazing voice. Yeah.
Amazing.
So that's hot.
Oh yeah, I would be so into him like in real life.
Like he doesn't have a big bag.
I think he's I don't know what his deal is. I mean,
yeah.
Do you think he doesn't have? Yeah.
I don't know, because I think short guys sometimes really do have some of the biggest ones, but for some reason,
maybe he does though, because like I'd have to see the swagger. Oh geez.
I'm back.
Anyways, they were having this great thing. She's like, you know what? She says, and in the spirit of psychological health and not playing games, I decided to be honest. I like you. I like you too. That's like it.
Yeah, I mean, that's nice.
Then Miranda's out on a shopping trip. And I believe I've told the story about how one day when I was at Home Depot looking ragged as hell, I'm walking down the aisle and I bump into a guy that I've had sex with multiple times. I'm like, I want to die. I do not want to. I've never seen the person outside of just.
You were able to recognize someone that you just like hooked up with? Like, there's no way I would.
It was multiple times.
Oh, okay.
With that person.
Okay.
Yeah. So I still didn't really want to see them, but it wasn't as bad. I'm like, I'm like, oh God. So then I'm like, hi. Like we had like a very short conversation for me being like, yeah, I'm just getting whatever, walking away while I'm talking. And later I round the corner, bump into like literally another person that I'd hooked up with. I'm like, I'm going to just.
What were you doing at Home Depot?
I'm a handy person, Amanda. Nowadays I go to Lowe's though, because Home Depot has some questionable ethics. But I go to Lowe's. I do a bunch of handy shit. I've changed all the light fixtures in my house. I've done a bunch of shit. Tons of shit. I can do everything, Amanda.
Can you change a tire? I've watched, I think, 15 different guys do that for me. And each time I'm like, will you just show me so that next time I can do it? And then next time I'm like, can you just show me so that I can get this next time?
I can do it, but I have AAA, so I never
I have
would.
AAA as well, yeah.
It's also usually like so fucking hot here. The last time I broke down with a hot a tire, it was like 110 out. So I sat in my
God,
car with it
that's so-
running, like wanting to, like hoping it wouldn't overheat
Yeah.
while they came. I'm like, I'm not fucking getting out there and doing shit. I'll be hot in 1 minute. I'll be hot in 1 second.
When
Anyway.
when I was doing Renaissance Singers, do you remember that?
Yes. I did Renaissance Singers for 2 gigs and then quit. Do you
Yeah.
remember that?
Yes, I definitely remember that. It's a very Amanda coded, actually. That's like so.
It's very much not like it's very. I've had a lot of privilege in my life where, like, if I'm put in a situation that I really don't like, I leave the situation.
Were you just
and I don't give a
overwhelmed?
shit.
I feel like you were just overwhelmed.
It was
like,
just not my thing, and like I'm so back in the day, I didn't feel like comfortable reading music well enough,
Right,
like
yeah.
that, where I can sing fine. And now I actually would be fine, because back then I was just shitting bricks every time I thought I had to do any kind of like group singing work like that. Like I sang in choir in high school and all of that.
But you're not holding your own part.
It wasn't like doing this shit where you're in a 4-part caroling
but
thing.
you know, like what
shit.
we had to wear. Like we're wearing costumes
Yes,
from the
I
movie
had to wear.
Camelot.
I had a costume that I wore for my 2 gigs.
And they
it
all
was like
smelled
a
like
fucking
40-year-old
nasty
BO.
ass Renaissance singer.
Yeah, but my car, I popped a tire on the way to a Renaissance gig, and I was wearing the outfit.
I think I remember that.
Oh my God. Like I like outside of my car in like this gold and like black heavy, like made of carpet material.
That's
Renaissance
the worst, though.
Princess dress. It was awesome. Let's wrap this up because we are doing so well here.
Well, we need
I'm loving
to,
how
like,
we're trucking
I was
along
thinking
here.
we need to like
fill time. No, we're
stretch
fine.
a little here. All right, so then Miranda's out shopping. She's doing some grocery shopping, and who does she see? She sees her exhibitionist neighbor, and I'll tell you, down in the grocery store, he looks even gayer than he did across showing
For
his pussy.
sure.
And Miranda's like sneaking around, like watching him, like perving out in a kind of a way, but also like, oh, should I talk to him? She ends up going up to him and she's like, hi, yeah, I'm I'm the woman who showed my boob to you. I actually can't even remember what she says.
Yeah, she goes, I feel like we could just, it's kind of the same thing that Bon Jovi said to Carrie. Like, well, I could just continue being coy, or I feel like I might as well just come introduce myself. And he's like, she's like, I'm your neighbor.
Oh, yeah, you're the girl who lives above the guy I've been cruising. And it's like,
yikes. Oof, that's rough.
You should, though, slightly understand when his reaction to you being like, hey, what's up, is not like, oh, confusion. Yeah. It's like,
did he not see the boob, though? Because I
think he did.
Oh, he did.
Well, you think? I don't know. Maybe if the guy's down there with it swinging his dick around. Yeah, I guess your eyes aren't.
But in your frame of view, there's still a second person above this guy.
Let me imagine.
Like you'd still see a person there standing. There'd be a laughing
if I was trying to cruise a guy and we were showing off our parts to each other across a thing, which I never would do again. And I saw the woman above him like flash her boob at me, I would probably like burst out laughing.
Or maybe you would think, maybe he did see it, but he assumed that she was showing her boob to like maybe someone above him or something. Like he was like, okay, boob, but this is unrelated to me. I don't know.
Because this is just like, this happens all the time. Hey guys, it's New York City, baby.
Only in
this is what happens in the city. You know, when they say that these cities are war zones, what's really happening is people are just showing off their boobs and butts across the windows.
So many butts. But anyway, that's that. Samantha.
Yay. Samantha watches the Knicks at Dawn's silent acting at the new season. They do this thing where he's like, yes, woo, they won, yay, yippee. And then she's like, yay, I'm so happy. And he's like, now I can watch the Mets or whatever the hell it is. And then she does a really good acting there, being like,
Like, it's not worth it. This ain't worth it for that D.
I don't understand why she'd do it anyway. She's had hotter dudes before that. And this is where I do really truly recognize they had to have cut Charlotte's storyline out of the version we saw. They have to have.
Because she wasn't even in this. She's always had a storyline. So I really want to know what that was.
They would resolve her here something.
Yeah, because they're just tying up the loose ends.
Like, do you think you could Google some like
yeah, hold on.
Charlotte?
Yeah. All right, we're back. Both of us just did a quick Google search, and both of us came up with two separate. People are discussing this basically, and nobody.
Yeah,
really
and I'm
knows
still
why.
trying to like find something because I am convinced that
I don't remember this at all. The conversations are like, I've watched this series 1,000 times, and I do not ever remember Charlotte playing bridge. It seems like that would have sparked a memory in either one of us.
You know what's so funny is I just looked up an article that like says some of the most controversial Sex and the City episodes that have aged poorly. First one listed is the one with the creeper guy who filmed the sex scenes with his partner.
Yeah.
Second one was the caste system that we just did.
But I like that one,
because of the, having dim sum.
Oh, all the racism. Yeah, forgot about
then Evolution, which we just did, because it has Charlotte like questioning that guy's sexuality because he likes things that are stereotypically gay.
Okay.
And then another one, okay. Oh, let's see. I thought I was going to say this one. Okay, season 3. There's one coming up in season 2 that they're saying is going to be, let's see. It's season 2, episode 16. Guys, sorry if this is boring. It says Carrie dates a recovering alcoholic in the season 2 episode. Yeah. Was it good for you? She later breaks up with him and he relapses.
That is wow. A crazy storyline. I do remember that. He's supposed to wait a year before dating, and then because she runs into his cigarette as he's standing outside an AA meeting. I remember that.
Oh, okay. So then they basically have, so then we're back to Carrie. She looks really cute. Love the bag. It's like a Fendi bag. It almost looks like it's that
she's wearing like yellow shorts.
Yeah, and like a blue top.
With one of those like silver rings kind of right here.
Yeah.
She looks amazing.
Looks really good. They end up playing Twister because
and you can tell that the costumer has matched the yellow and blue in her outfit to the Twister board. I can guarantee you Michael Patrick King like says that in the commentary.
Well, isn't that Patricia Fields?
Yeah, but I feel like Michael Patrick King would have been like, I wanted her to look just like the Twister board.
Yeah, and taking him back to being in the 7th grade Twister champion. And then guess what, guys? They fuck. And then here we get down to it. She says, so why are you in therapy? Seriously? He's like, I'm really fucked up about women. After I sleep with them, I completely lose interest. He's like, what about you? What's your problem? She says, I don't believe in therapy. She says something. I actually skipped a big chunk, and then
I picked the wrong men, is what she says.
I just kind of didn't. Oh, because it says, I believe in therapy. This moment is called the breakthrough. I picked the wrong men. Although she'd made some good points, I stopped seeing Dr. G immediately. I couldn't risk the humiliation of running into Seth in the waiting room.
Yeah, I mean, obviously.
My friends totally understand.
I mean, that's true. You can't, or at least get a different appointment. Oh, no, I wouldn't even get an appointment. I wouldn't want to run into him.
I would say a therapist probably would not encourage two people who are like, who've met actively at therapy. I don't think they would encourage that, but you never know.
Like Tony and what's her face from Hand That Rocks the Cradle.
I'm not a therapist, y'all, so what the fuck do I know?
Anyway, solid episode. What's next week's episode, by the way?
It is... Hold on. It's called The Fuck Buddy.
Oh, that's a good one!
To get over Mr. Big, Carrie makes a date with her sex buddy. Samantha is aroused by her neighbors, and Miranda goes on a date with a nasty man.
Ooh. Oh, what's he gonna do? Like dirty talk again?
Is it the one that like eats her pussy and then tries to like kiss her?
Oh, yeah, maybe. That doesn't age well either.
I don't
'Cause
remember. We'll see.
no,
But
because I thought no, no,
is
no,
this what
that
we're watching? Because the last time Amanda told me, last time Amanda said we were watching something, then it was the wrong thing. So let's make sure. Season 2, episode 14. Okay, that's right,
yeah,
right?
the fact that Carrie makes a date with her buddy. Meanwhile, Samantha
I'm
enjoys the
just being
action
a
of a couple
twat,
next door.
y'all. Guys, we love you and
We
never
love
forget.
ya. Never forget. I think that's it. Make sure you join our
Kind of is.
Patreon.
You know what?
Yeah,
If you'd like to send us a sexy story, we'd love it. But no one has sent us one, so it's okay.
it's okay.
Bye bye, guys. I love you so much. And guys, this is so weird because it's less than an hour.
I know, but that's lovely. And now I need to go to the weed store and buy some edibles.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's it. Love you guys and have a
Mm.
wonderful night. Mwah.
Bye bye.